There are secrets capable of sinking entire dynasties. And sometimes, betrayal doesn't come with a dagger, it arrives silently, in a plain cream envelope and a flash drive. Camilla Parker Bowles had weathered storms before. Vilified as the other woman, mocked by the public, and doubted even after being crowned queen consort, she had survived it all. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared her for this. A betrayal so intimate, so perfectly timed, that it brought her reign to its knees. It all began on a foggy morning at Balmoral. King Charles was sipping his usual Earl Grey when a palace staffer handed him a sealed envelope, trembling slightly. The label was handwritten, "For His Majesty's eyes only." Inside was a simple USB drive. No explanation. No sender. The king, curious but cautious, handed it to the head of palace security. Minutes later, the room fell into stunned silence. On the screen, hundreds of documents, recordings, emails, and confidential reports. All traced back to a single source inside the palace. All leaked with intent. The orchestrator behind the calculated release of royal secrets? Queen Camilla. But what turned Charles's face pale wasn't just Camilla's name. It was the name of the person who compiled and delivered the damning evidence. Lady Fiona Havisham, Camilla's most trusted advisor and companion for over 2 decades. A woman who had once been seen as her shadow, her confidant, and the keeper of her darkest secrets. No one saw it coming. Not the palace aides. Not the press. And least of all, Camilla. Sources close to the royal household reveal that Lady Fiona had been collecting evidence quietly for years. She had access to everything, from private briefings to backdoor communications with the press. What she uncovered was staggering: Camilla's calculated manipulation of media narratives, strategic leaks about Princess Kate's mental health, and even planted stories to undermine Prince Harry's credibility during this bare fallout. But perhaps the most shocking revelation? Camilla's covert influence over a network of journalists who received curated gossip in exchange for favorable coverage. The Queen had been playing a dangerous media game behind palace walls, and Fiona had all the receipts. When the news reached Camilla, she reportedly flew into a rage. According to palace insiders, the Queen smashed a mirror in her private quarters, hurled her phone across the room, and screamed Fiona's name for hours. She attempted to call her, only to find her number disconnected. Fiona had vanished. Why? Camilla's voice echoed through the corridors of Kensington Palace. She couldn't comprehend how the woman she trusted most had turned against her. Fiona had been there through it all: Diana's scathing interviews, the public backlash, the quiet tears behind closed doors. She wasn't just an aide. She was family. But Fiona had her reasons. Sources claim that the final straw came when Camilla began targeting Kate Middleton directly, attempting to tarnish her public image to remain the favorite in the eyes of the British public. Fiona, who had grown close to Kate over the years, could no longer stand by. She didn't want to be accepted, Fiona reportedly said in a secret recording. She wanted to be worshipped, even if it meant destroying others to do it. In the span of 48 hours, Queen Camilla was stripped of all media-related duties. Her access to royal advisors was suspended indefinitely, and her name was mysteriously absent from the palace's public calendar. The whispers of Queen Camilla were replaced by louder, more persistent murmurs of the disgraced consort. Behind the scenes, Camilla was quietly relocated to a private estate in Berkshire under the pretext of needing rest. But insiders claim it was far more severe, an enforced exile disguised as medical leave. As for Fiona, she disappeared like a ghost. No press conference. No public appearance. Palace security confirmed she had been escorted to a secure, undisclosed location. One insider chillingly remarked, "They fear what Camilla might do if she gets the chance." She's not going down quietly. Outside the palace, the media went into a frenzy. The hashtag Fiona the whistleblower trended across all platforms. Some hailed her a hero. Others painted her as a traitor. Public opinion was split, but one thing was certain, Camilla's once unshakable position was now hanging by a thread. Political commentators speculated that this could mark the beginning of a dramatic reshuffling within the monarchy. Some even whispered of abdication talks. And as Princess Kate stepped into more public engagements, dressed in soft pastels and unwavering poise, the contrast was crystal clear, a new queen in waiting rising from the ashes of scandal. But the most haunting detail? Fiona had left behind a final note. A single line, scribbled in elegant cursive on royal stationery. Loyalty, when betrayed, becomes the sharpest dagger. That line now circulates among royal staff, part cautionary tale, part legend. Camilla, once the mistress who became a queen, now finds herself more alone than ever, trapped in a gilded prison of her own making. And deep within the palace's stone walls, as the monarchy reels from its latest scandal, everyone's asking the same question. Who's next?